Hi guys, and welcome back to Mr. Moo's modelling channel. This is my February 2018 bench update, and today we're going to be covering a few things. First and foremost, I've got a couple of little shout outs to do, so we'll cover that in a minute. Then I'm going to show you my latest completed build that I've got, and I'll be showing you also a bit of an update on progress on my current builds. And then I will also sort of quickly go through what sort of purchases I've made over the last month. So, to start with shout-outs. Firstly, I've got to say a huge thank you to Matt Hills from Matt Hills Scale Models for his little shout-out that he gave me. He's saying thank you for some advice I was giving him on heavier loadouts during the Falklands. Yeah, it's an absolute pleasure, mate. You know, this is what this hobby is also about, sharing information, you know, helping each other out with their builds. And I think this medium of YouTube and the internet, it has made this this hobby into a much social hobby, if that makes sense. It's one of those where traditionally you'd model away in your own little corner, go to your club meets and chat to a few guys there, and also go to shows, whereas now, through social media, whether it be Facebook, whether it be Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, you know, we can communicate with guys who are on the other side of the planet. And Matt Hills he's an Aussie. I mean, yeah, he's not perfect. I mean, one of those, he's an Aussie, but he's a great guy. You know, I mean, I love the Aussies, and we the Brits and the Aussies have a fair bit of banter between the two of us. So yeah, it's great to help out a fellow modeller. The second shout out I'm going to be doing is for a chap I work with called Luke Carswell. Now, Luke's just started up a Facebook channel, a Facebook page, sorry, and a YouTube channel. And Luke is a great modeller. He's very talented. He isn't a river counter, but the models he makes are absolutely fantastic. He's been present on various internet groups, whether it be International Scale Modeller or various things on Facebook like British Aviation Scale. And he's sort of decided to take the plunge and get going, doing some updates and stuff himself. So his channel is called Black Rifle Model Worx, and his YouTube, that's for his YouTube channel, and also for his Facebook group. And I'll put some links through to those down below in the comments, and I'll also pop a link to Matt Hill's Facebook YouTube channel. So those are sort of the two main shout outs to like fellow YouTubers and saying thank you for their help. Luke also gave me a shout out the other day, and that's appreciated, buddy. And that's a pleasure getting you that post spike for the Buccaneer build that you got on the go. My final little shout out is going to be for a new forum. Now, it's called the Midlands Virtual Model Club, and this has been set up by another chap from work and a friend of his, both great modelers. Ian Rickus is a guy I work with, and he is a really talented figure painter and sci-fi modeller. He also dabbles a bit in aircraft and armour, and although he says he isn't an aircraft guy, I mean, his MiG-31 Foxhound is absolutely amazing. He's been putting various photos up on his own like Facebook page, his personal one, but he started this Midlands Virtual Model Club with another guy called Chris Jeffcott. Now, this Virtual Model Club is basically a 21st century version of your normal model club. So this one's free to join. It's basically targeted guys who model within the Midlands, the vast Midlands that is, and it's recognising the fact, you know, with shifts and stuff like that and work today, it's not always easy to get down Sunday afternoon down to model club. Ian, Luke and myself, we all work together, and we all work shifts, and trying to see each other is sometimes a nightmare. So having somewhere where we can share our builds together and talk to each other virtually, I think it's a great idea. So, as I say, check it out. It's called the Midlands Virtual Model Club. That is present on Facebook as a group. It's also got a website, and it's also got a forum that has started out. It's in its infancy, it's proper baby stuff, but because it's new, it's quite exciting to be a part of that and to help maybe develop it. So if you're from the Midlands, west or east, doesn't really matter, but if you're from the middle of the country, go and have a look at it, guys. You know, join up, show us what you do. And it's one of those, to be fair, most of us are on various forums and we post over different ones, so it's not that hard to basically share onto one forum if you're sharing onto another one. You can just do a cut and paste of your post and amend it. That's generally what I tend to do in between Flory Models, Brit Modeler. Those are the two main ones that I'm on, and now the Midlands Virtual Model Club that I've started on as well. So those are going to be my main 3 outlets, as well as YouTube and my Facebook group. So those are the main shout-outs. I'll be putting links to all of those in the bottom of the video, and I'd encourage you all to go and have a look and see what's what. So, as I say, just to recap, Matt Hill Scale Models, great guy. Luke Carswell with Black Rifle Model Worx, great guy. And the Midlands Virtual Model Club. Go and look at the descriptions, check it out, and let us know what you think of it, guys. Is it good to have some new sort of group starting? Is it good to have some new sort of people popping up and a bit of fresh blood, shall we say? I think it is. That's probably because I'm new myself, you know, to this stuff. I'm still a massive newbie, but I'm really enjoying it, and it's great the feedback and the interaction that you guys are giving me. So thanks for that. Right, what we're going to do now is get the camera pointed down at the bench, down there, and I will go through my completed build, the latest completed build, and we'll go through also what is currently on the go for group builds and show you what progress I've made on that. And then we'll go through some purchases. So let me move the camera around for you guys. Right, guys, so completed builds. I've only got the one ready to show you, and it's this little guy here. This is Revell's 1/241st scale, so a dinky little thing, Millennium Falcon. And this was built for a SIG run on the Flory Models website, and that SIG was the sci-fi SIG, organised by Pixie of Flory Models. Thank you very much for organising the SIG, it was great fun. This is the first bit of sci-fi modelling I have ever done. I've never done anything like this before. I'm mainly an aircraft modeller. So I thought I'll have a go at the SIG, but I didn't want to go and spend a lot of money on a big kit to maybe get a poor result. So this is what I bought. The kit goes together remarkably well. Just let me get a pointy thing. There we go. Remarkably well, because there's hardly anything to it. So what I've done is I assembled it partly, and I base coloured it. I put a black primer down with AK Interactive's black primer, and then I sprayed it with some FS 1644 from Mr. Hobby as a base coat, and sort of did a marbling effect to get some tonal variation in there. And then I picked out the sort of these colours here by hand. Just brush painted those. Those are Tamiya paints that I've used some paint retarder on. Just let me bring you in a little bit closer, see where we can see it any better, guys. There we go. So yeah, you can see some of the panels which have been picked out. I then sealed it with a coat of Super Clear 3, I think it was. Picked out a few more details, these black bits here on the engines. And then I gave it a Flory Models Grime Wash. I didn't want to go too dark because I didn't want it to be too much contrast. And then after that we put down a satin coat on it with some Tamiya X35 semi-gloss. And then we used some neat oils to give this all different tones to panels, and they're just planned randomly, and they're just brushed on, and then a bit of terps just to help sort of make them not quite so stark. And there we are. So I'm quite happy with it and the way it's turned out. Let me just show you the underneath. There we go, it comes with its own little stand. But yeah, on the whole, I think it's a lovely little kit. I really enjoyed building it, and it's my first piece of sci-fi, so that one's going to go into the cabinet for the time being, and it'll stay there. The only thing which I've really struggled with on this build, that's just down to the size of it, is the canopy here. Trying to mask off the clear parts was an absolute nightmare. In all honesty, I probably would have done better just to paint it black and leave them black, or maybe even a dark blue, just to represent some transparency here. And there's also a slight difference in paint colour in between the canopy here and the rest of the body, but I think it just adds to the patchiness of it. So I'm quite chuffed with that one. Right. So there we go. So what I'm going to do now is move on to the current builds. So I'll back the camera out a little bit here. There we go. And I'll get out what's on the bench at the moment. So what's going on the bench at the moment? I've got 3 builds which are mainly on the go. Well, I've got 5 on the go, but 3 that I'm really actively building on. First one is this here. There we go. This is the Tamiya 1/72 Tornado F3. And I'm building this for a group build which is #TwinBrit over on British Aviation Scale on Facebook, run by Tim Hedworth. So you can see at the moment it's in primer all around, and it's ready to start again. Its colours going on. Although I really like her in black, I could just leave her like that. So yeah, I've had a few troubles with this one. Let me just get a pointy thing out. So along the side here, this has got a horizontal seam, and that left quite a little bit of a mark there, so I had to do quite a bit of filling and sanding on that. My filler of choice at the moment is super glue and talcum powder mixed together, and the same around the back here where the join was, had some trouble there. On the other side, same again, had a little bit of trouble just there, not so much on the horizontal seam here, but a bit of trouble nevertheless, just needed a bit of work, nothing too bad. So there she is, ready for her paint. I've also got fuel tanks on the go, and here we've got 2 types, the smaller ones and the larger Hindenburger tanks. I haven't quite made my mind up which one I'm going to put on yet, hence why I'm painting both. Put those up there. And then we've got all the little bits and bobs which are same again in primer, and they are ready to get some paint on. So that's the Tornado F3. The deadline for this one is the 17th of March, so I need to get a little bit of a wiggle on. So the plan is for later today and hopefully tomorrow to get that into spray booth. The second one, which is mainly on the go at the moment, is this little beauty here. This is the Airfix 1/72 Harrier GR3 that I am building for Martin Lamont's 50th anniversary of the Hawker Siddeley Harrier buddy build. Same again, she's in primer, and she has had a bit of pre-shading on it. I'm not the world's best at pre-shading, but it's there nevertheless. So ready for some paint as well. This one's going to be in flight, so I need to work on a stand on it as well. But she's all good to go pretty much. We got some ordnance as well assembled here. So 2 LGBs, and they're ready pretty much for paint as well. And then all the other little bits and bobs, same again. We've got, it's all in primer. I primed this using Halford's grey primer and a rattle can, just because it's quick. So there you have the Harrier and how it's coming along. The third build, which is ongoing at the moment, is this. Now, this is the Canadair CL415 or Bombardier CL415 water bomber. This is an A model kit, and the best way I can describe this is as an artisan kit. It's definitely not mass produced. It's got problems all over it. But it is going together. I mean, there's got to be some work done here. Let me just bring you in nice and close so you can see this. There we go. So you can see seam lines just running along top here. They're going to need attention. This stuff doesn't like Tamiya extra thin either. The plastic doesn't, so it's not gone together that easily. So I've reinforced these joints with super glue. The underneath, same again. I'm working on the joint here because it didn't match up well, so I'm having to sand that down. But we're getting there. The wings, these have all had a little bit of a rescribe on top quickly, and we start to glue together. Same again, this is glued in with super glue because it doesn't like the old Tamiya extra thin. But we're going to need some filling around the leading bit here. I mean, I need to do a bit of research here and figure out whether it's got like leading edge slats or not, and if so, I think I'm just going to fill this anyway, and I'm probably going to fill a bit along the back here, even though these ailerons should be movable parts. We've got the tail planes together, there we go, and I've also got the engine nacelles there. Yeah, not the best kit in the world, far from it. But if you want a Canadair or a Bombardier CL415 water bomber, you got the choice of this or the Hello 172nd kit, which is old tooling, and it's old tooling and it's got raised detail all over shops and nightmare. So whichever way you're going to do it, you're going to be putting some work into the build. So purchases, there's been a few, some tools and some paint and some kits, so let's rock and roll through those. First and foremost were these little reamers. These are got off AliExpress, like £1.50 delivered to the UK. I'd love to know how they can make a profit of that when it cost me like 87 pence to send a letter first class. These I'm going to be using for like just drilling out holes and widening holes and, you know, various bits and bobs, or sort of sanding down sort of things which are round. So cheap and cheerful. In the realms of tools, we've also had some deliveries from Flory Models. Here we go. So this is the new sanders from Flory Models. They are a combo sander, let's put it that way. So it's like a stick on one side and a sponge on the other. So it's really, really good because if you're sanding away, you're sort of sanding, and you want a sponge, so you just flip it round. This is all a medium grit. Phil doesn't actually give us the actual grit index, and that's fair enough, but it's a medium and it works well. He will be bringing out these in coarse and fine as well, and I'll probably be getting some of those when they come around. I mean, they got a bit of flex in them as well, which is quite nice, and yeah, they feel like they're going to last a fair while. I just buy mainly from, when I buy my sanders from Flory Models, I'll mainly get one of these, which is his starter pack. So in here, you've basically got a bit of everything. So you've got a polisher, you've got 3 sticks, a medium, a coarse and a fine. You've got a nice sponge, well, you've got 2 sponges actually. You've got a medium sponge and then a dual grit sponge with a very fine and a coarse grit. And then you've got a load of skinny sticks and skinny sponges. And you've also got these sort of polisher ones as well, which are quite good. So this is actually really good value for money in terms of sanders, and I purchased this at Telford this year as a restock, and I haven't had to break into it that much yet anyway, so highly recommended. Paint wise, these are fresh from today. We went up to Stoke with the missus today for a bit of shopping, and whilst I was there I popped into the good people at E-Models, and I wanted to get some of these for a while, and yeah, I got them. There's £22 for the set, so you get 6 oils in there for £22, and I think this should hopefully last me a lifetime. So in terms of colours, you get the Abteilung 502 Smoke, you get the yellow, you get the faded dark yellow, faded navy blue, focus, there we go. You get a faded green as well. Let's go and let it focus, there we go. And a cream brown. Now, I quite like the idea of these because you can use them either for like a panel line wash and especially with smoke, or you can use them neat on the kit to do like streaking effects or smoke effects, and you can also use them almost like a filter when you just apply them on neat and blend them in. Phil Flory is a massive fan of these Abteilung oils, so you know, I thought I'd give it a go and see what's what. Kit wise, I've had two come in. The first one is this Sword Harrier T Mark 2/2A/4/4N. I'll do a kit review on this. I've got his younger brother, the T10, T12 in the stash. I'll probably do a bit of a review on this, and I think this will be my next Harrier I'm going to build, sort of following that chronological order. So something to look forward to. And my final kit that's come in is this big boy here. Let's bring you in, which is a Hobby Boss F14B Tomcat. And this comes with, I think it's three sets of markings in it. You got VF143, which I think is Puking Dogs maybe, VF7, which I think is a bit definitely is, I'm not entirely sure, and the famous VF103 Jolly Rogers. So yeah, nice looking kit. I've got the younger brother once again, the F14D, and I'll probably look at getting the F14A in to have one of each. The F14 is one of my all-time favourite aircraft, so I'll look forward to that one. So guys, there you have a little tour of what's going on the bench at the moment and what's been happening with the channel and the Facebook page. Some great interaction on social media with you guys, and also through the shoutouts which started happening on YouTube, and that's really appreciated. Never in a million years did I think that was ever going to happen, to get a shout out from somebody else, so the fact I've had one off Matt Hills and one off Luke, you know, it's appreciated, and I hope that we can repay them the favour. You've seen what I've completed, the little Millennium Falcon, and that was a cracking build and I really enjoyed it. And if any of you fancy having a go at some sci-fi and you've never done any before, I would strongly suggest having a go at this little kit. You know, you can knock it up in a evening and then have some fun and games painting it and weathering it, and because it's sci-fi you can do whatever you want. I mean, you could paint it the Millennium Falcon pink. That might get a few raised eyebrows, but nevertheless it's sci-fi, so you do whatever you want. So there might be some more of that to come in the future. Maybe next wing, what if, maybe that could be a potential. Actually that could be quite interesting. Yeah, so maybe a bit more sci-fi in the future, we'll see. The current ongoing builds, so for the group builds that I'm part of, so the twin group build being run over on British Aviation Scale by Tim Hedworth, the Hawker Siddeley's the 50th anniversary of the Hawker Siddeley Harrier buddy build run by Martin Lamont on Facebook as well, and the Canadair is being built for a group build on Flory models, which is the French Fancies, which is basically anything that is either in French colours or is built by the French, and that runs through till June. So, and obviously also pointing out a few little purchases, and maybe look forward to doing some builds on those in the future. I might do a little bit of a stash review at some point, or bench tour, or cave tour. It's one of those things where I was sort of thinking, you know, maybe for when I get a bit of like, maybe, you know, a few more subscribers, We can do it like almost a little celebratory video, so we'll probably keep those on the back burner and do a cave tour or stash tour at some point. But if you'd like to see that sort of thing, just pop a little note in. I was thinking about maybe doing a few reviews. As I say, I've got that Sword Harrier and I've got this younger brother. They're not mainstream kits, they're not widely available. I'm probably not going to review the Harrier T10, T12 because that's been done really well by Phil Floyd, actually with that kit. I sent it down to him for him to review. So, but you know, I've got a few kits in there which might be worth a little review, shall we say, at some point. So if you'd like to see any kit reviews, let me know and we'll see what we can do for you on that. And I think all I've got left to say now is, once again, thank you very much for all your support, your kind comments and encouragement. It's very much appreciated. It certainly makes it very easy to sit down and talk in front of the camera when you get people feeding back that they're enjoying watching it. So, as I say, it's very much appreciated. So with that, I'm just going to say happy modelling and take care, guys.